So here's the thing. And we have this amazing thing with grace, but we should not treat it flippantly. Don't treat it as an excuse. Don't treat it as a license. Because see, grace is for you. Grace is for you. Grace has been given to you. It's been extended to you. And, I think about it in a very real way, and I can't quite equate it, but I'll share this story. I've shared it before. When I was in university, I got in this automobile wreck. I flipped 3 times across 4 lanes of traffic on I-5 in California. We were going 70 miles an hour. And I bounced in and out of the car, out of the truck, and came back into the truck. It landed on its wheels. It was a complete miracle of God. And I called out to God in the middle of the thing. I cried out to Jesus. And I smacked my face on the thing, and it was bleeding everywhere, and they had to stitch me back up. It was a nightmare as far as that goes, but I lived through it on the other side. And, Javen and I were driving yesterday, and we saw this accident happen on I-10, and it immediately brought me back to this story, which I wasn't intending to share. But there was this thing that happened where whenever you look at a car wreck, you guys have the next image, when you look at the destruction that's there, you can imagine if it did that to a car, what did it do to the people inside? And I was thinking about that. It made me flash to this terrible wreck I was in, how God saved me in the middle of it. But that's not what the part I wanted to share today. The part I wanted to share was that within a short few months, 2 of my friends, one back home here named Nick and a friend of mine in California named Emily, both of them died in this similar type of wreck that I was in, where they flipped and they died. And I had this weird survivor guilt thing going on in my life. I knew that I didn't know where Nick was at with God. I just didn't know. And Emily, she was awesome. She was totally committed to God, and she was an athlete in university, and she was so great. Her funeral was packed out with people, and I was just like, Lord, why did you take them and you didn't take me? I had this weird feeling, and I couldn't shake it. And I had to come to this place where God was talking about his grace was sufficient for me in that circumstance. It didn't change what happened. It didn't change that my friends were gone and I was here. It didn't change the heartbreak I felt. It didn't change the questions I had. But what it did was that God was sharing with me, listen, my grace is upon you. This is not the burden you need to carry. Let it be lifted, for my burden is light. My grace is for you. And so today I felt like someone needed to hear that God's grace is for you specifically, and that you can embrace the grace of God for your circumstance, and you can walk in the peace of God because it's not earned. We don't deserve it. It's given to you. The grace of God.